Ink ribbon.
Characters are the backbone of almost every game franchise, especially since you will spend so much time with them, but sometimes developers decide to take something that works and completely change it. Sometimes it leads to greatness, most of the time though it just makes fans passionately angry. So I thought it would be fun to go over some character designs that were changed so much that it caused controversy. In no particular order, here are 10 characters who got drastic redesigns.
Number 10.
Reptile. After quickly becoming one of the fan favorite characters, Reptile was introduced as a playable character in Mortal Kombat 2, becoming the green ninja to the franchise and providing a bit of intrigue and mystery, with just occasional glimpses under his hood. I remember playing back in the day, and when he took off his hood for his fatality and you really got to see him, it was genuinely scary. As his story explains, with his openly lizard look in Mortal Kombat 4, he is starting to devolve, leading him to look increasingly reptilian. Now that was a controversial redesign, but nothing compared to his design in Deadly Alliance for the 6th gen games. I am one of 5 people on this earth who absolutely loved this redesign in Deadly Alliance. I mean, look at him, he's literally a cool lizard dude now with a moving tail and everything. Plus, he kind of has this derpy look that makes him look like a cartoon. I guess that's probably not what they were going for, but I liked it. But I also completely recognize why fans hated it, and that's probably why they never went back to it. Although they kind of did in Mortal Kombat 1, but anyway.
Number 9.
Chris Redfield. We often hear women complain about unrealistic body standards with video game characters, but I guarantee you that most men who played Resident Evil 5 had decided or been motivated to start working out. I say that because Chris Redfield went from an average build to having arms that are literally the size of his head and having a bigger chest than any of us could ever dream. While it was a drastic change, at least Capcom used the story and lore to create character development to go along with it and make it make some sense. In case you don't know why, his rival, Wesker, has developed superhuman speed and strength, and if Chris hadn't juiced and bulked, Wesker would kill him like a small dog. But this isn't the last time a redesign would cause commotion, with Resident Evil 7 providing us with the most hated character design in the entire franchise. Now the weird thing is, if you look at photos of his face model, he looks fine. I think maybe something got lost in the 3D scanning process or something. But unknown to a lot of players is that he's still the same face model, though now with a bit of artistic liberty to help Chris look more the way fans remember him.
Number 8.
DMC Dante. Okay guys, so don't get mad at me. I not only played DMC, and I not only liked his design, I liked it so much that I got his haircut. Now to be clear, I still love classic Dante, but I think you should be allowed to like both. That said, I could definitely understand why fans were so mad because, to put it simply, fans hate change, especially drastic change like this. Which raises the question, do you think slow change over time is better than a drastic sudden change? Well, at least with character design. Anyway, whether you like his white anime hair and red trench coat, or short dark hair and a tank top, I think the important thing was keeping his bad boy attitude and stylish moves, since that's really the essence of the character. But if you really hate his DMC design, don't worry, cause I don't think it's coming back anytime soon.
Number 7.
Lara Croft. Lara shares a lot of things with Chris Redfield. Both of them starred in one of the biggest gaming franchises of all time, and both of them have been completely redesigned. Twice. While Lara did evolve over the years, Lara's biggest change first came with Tomb Raider Legend, changing her storyline, appearance, and personality, making her a bit more snarky and sure-footed. Legend brought us a whole new design for her with a brown outfit that includes a few new gadgets, while still retaining that classic Lara's look, now depicted as her younger self. This was great because it allowed the new to shine while still respecting the old. Then in 2013 we got the reboot Lara, younger, more modestly dressed, and infamously less confident than we were used to. If you're a classic fan of the series, it might be easy to assume that reboot Lara is the least popular design, and I know you don't want to hear this, but when I looked up polls and forums of people debating it, I was surprised to see that most answers said that Survivor Lara was their favorite. Now this could be because there was just newer fans, or maybe casual players had now been brought into the series, or it could just be the fact that the classic Tomb Raider was just dormant for so long, or who knows, this franchise has been through hell and back. Hopefully the new unified Lara in the next game can bring us all together as a fandom.
Number 6.
Raiden. Back in the day, Metal Gear Solid 2 was one of the most anticipated gaming releases of the decade, and fans were excited to play as Snake once again. And they did get to play as Snake. For the first hour or so. Then after that, in one of the most famous bait and switch moments in all of gaming, we played the rest of the game as the new character, Raiden. Raiden was not well received. Unlike Snake, who had a muscular frame, a tough personality, and an iconically gravelly voice, Raiden was basically the opposite, having long blonde hair, slender build, and a bit of an immature personality. The game was still a hit and fans loved it, but the hate for Raiden never really subsided, until he was reintroduced in Metal Gear Solid 4. No longer looking like a character in a yaoi manga, Raiden now possessed a robotic exoskeleton, becoming almost a spiritual successor to Gray Fox. And all it took was his first cutscene to demonstrate what he could do, and gamers immediately celebrated what Raiden had become.
Number 5.
Bomberman. I have a vague recollection of playing Bomberman on my Game Boy back in the day, and I remember enjoying it. I have no idea how that game came into my possession, but it was a fun little game with a cute little round character that looked like this. And he would continue to look like this as the series progressed. And then, out of nowhere in 2006, we got the game Bomberman Act 0, and he went from looking like this to looking like this. From cute and quirky to overly edgy and out of place, I actually decided to look deeper into what the hell happened here, and it's a tale as old as time. First of all, I had no idea Bomberman was a Konami property. For some reason I thought it was a Nintendo game, but that's on me. But this specific game was developed by Hudson Soft, and like every bad decision ever made in game development, this was in an attempt to please not the fans, but the shareholders.
Number 4.
Link. Fun fact about me, throughout my gaming career, I have never once played a Legend of Zelda game. Like, literally never. But it is such a big and popular franchise, I've kept up with it over the years and watched it evolved, with not only its gameplay changing, but its design as well. Link has always gone through changes, but usually kept his femboy adventurer aesthetic intact, with graphics just simply getting better and more detailed over time, until the GameCube era, when Wind Waker was revealed. Now again, I haven't played this franchise, but even I remember everyone being up in arms and freaking out over the new cartoony look of the game, which was a pretty bold design choice. To this day, there are people arguing about it, but I guess the silver lining is that the game has found its audience, and due to the toon look, it's aged very well. So, there you go.
Number 3.
Spyro. Alongside Crash Bandicoot, we had Spyro the Dragon, who was cool, but also kind of cute. He and Crash both had a character design that was perfect for kids because they were cool, but also cuddly. Like, I'm surprised there weren't stuffed animals made of them. Imagine having a Spyro instead of a teddy bear. Anyway, Spyro went dormant for a while, and I remember when I was working at GameStop, the Skylanders stuff had started coming out and was getting very popular. One day when I was setting up the shelf, I literally held up one of the figures and said to my coworker, "Hey, this is totally a Spyro ripoff." And then he stared at me for a bit and said, "No man, that is Spyro. They changed his design." That's how drastic of a change it was. I didn't even realize it was Spyro. Also, I had no idea Skylanders was doing a collaboration, so I just assumed all their characters were original. But anyway, yeah, going from cute to this weird, derpy, angry-looking thing, the design wasn't very well received, and as far as I could find, that was the first and last time it was used.
Number 2.
Yuna. Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, it's probably in my top 5 if I'm being honest. So I got very familiar with all the characters, especially Yuna. I know Titus says it's his story, but honestly the game revolves around her. As a summoner, she's dressed very conservatively and has kind of an apologetic demeanor. Yuna is just very kind, and I think her appearance reflected that. Then Final Fantasy X-2 came out, and all of that went out the window to reveal a whole new look, complete with booty shorts, dual pistols inspired by Lara Croft, and even a nose job. Yes, her nose was changed. I have no idea why, but that's what happened. I was a teenage boy when X-2 came out, so I didn't mind the changes to Yuna at all. Or Riku. Honestly, the only thing that bothered me was that Lulu was 9 months pregnant and they couldn't even be bothered to give her the slightest baby bump. Maybe babies in Spyro are really small or something?
Ooh. It kicked. Really? I want to feel?
Anyway, there was a mixed reaction from what I found online on whether or not Yuna's new look was good or not, but it seems that even people who hated it still thought it was more fitting to X-2's fun attitude than her original look.
Number 1.
Pikachu. One of the most iconic and recognizable rats in the world, almost everyone knows Pikachu when they see him, but a lot of people seem to forget that when Pokemon started, Pikachu was quite the chonk. Up until Silver and Gold, this is what his design looked like, being noticeably fatter and round, but adorable nonetheless. Then in Ruby Sapphire, we got a slimmed down redesign with a larger head, and from there Pikachu just got more and more slim. Apparently the reason for this was that it allowed Pikachu to have more movement and be more expressive, which now that he was basically the mascot for the franchise, was definitely necessary. I know these weren't the only redesigned characters that were shocking or drastic, but if there's any you feel should have been on this list, let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to click the original design for that like button. Yep, this is what YouTube looked like in 2005 when it started. Remember to drink water and pet your pets. Until next time, I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon.